Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
And this week, courtesy of our friend Thomas Piper of
How many of these have you had, Rich?
Exactly. We haven't even started drinking yet.
Oh.
Scrub Squad 1978. He brought me, and he brought this for us one other time, and we drank it that day. Then he brought me another one when I saw him a few weeks back in Las Vegas at TravCon, the Hoppin Frog Turbo Shanty Citrus Ale, and out of Akron, Ohio. And so I know what we're getting into. I love this. Did you have this when it was?
No, I've never had. The only things of theirs I've ever had have been their stouts. They're really known for their barrel-aged stouts. They've got probably 10 different ones. So this is the first non-stout of theirs I've had. It's not like we can just pick it up here in Nebraska. So
all right, so I'm gonna open this thing up and get it going. So what's interesting about this one is it's a shanty, right? So, and I'm sure you'll talk a little bit about what a shanty is, but what is interesting is it's 7%.
See, already we're in uncharted territories because usually these sorts of beers are low. We call them session or sessionable beers, where 4%, 4.5 is usually the max. So we're already a little bit something different.
A lot different, yeah. I was surprised when I saw
the
alcohol content, the ABV.
No, I don't smell any alcohol difference, but
No,
it doesn't smell super boozy.
it smells like lemonade.
It tastes like lemonade. Ooh, that could be very dangerous.
Yes.
At 7%.
Oh man, that's good. That is, again, Thomas. Thank you so much. I know this is a place that he goes often. There in Akron, and I'll talk about the brewery here in a little bit.
Okay.
You want to talk about the style?
Sure. Well, this is a style. You can hear it be called Shandy, or you sometimes will hear it like Radler is another term you might see. Basically what it is, it's like the alcoholic, I don't even want to say John Daly version, but it's like an Arnold Palmer, right? So it's a beer, an ale, and like 50% usually of some sort of fruit juice, or like a carbonated citrus drink, so like a Sprite.
Okay.
So you could make your own. Some breweries make them, but usually it's like a lemonade or a limeade, one of those citrus ones. I have never seen really in a smaller version, like an orange one.
Ooh.
We did when we had our Oktoberfest with Leinenkugels. That's kind of the first thing that popped into my head when you told me we were going to do one of these, is because it's mass produced everywhere.
Yep.
And I have a feeling like that lemon shandy that they sell is it's got to be like their biggest selling beer, I would think.
I think it's probably their biggest selling.
The summer shandy, because it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it shows up at April, maybe even before. It's there all the time. And then I think because of the success of that one, they branched out and did all those different flavors. So I know that that place has an orange one, but I've never had it.
Try that.
So the style is not as old as some of the other German styles that we've been talking about and drinking before. The farthest back I could trace this one was like maybe 100 years or so, and was in Berlin.
Okay.
And they use the term Radler, and that's basically is the German word for cyclist. So after riding your bike all day, this was like a refreshing beer to have at the end of the day. So that's kind of where the term, well, that is where the term comes from, because that's what it means. But it was just whether or not, the story is there's a guy, an innkeeper, who was like the end of the bike ride, and he had a bunch of beer and he had a bunch of lemonade, and put them together basically at the request of somebody, like these stories always are. Somebody asked for it and he made it, and it was good, and it's always been that way. So that's where the style comes from as far as relates to craft beers, what we can trace.
Yep. Interesting. So thank you, Germans, once again. I think there's
They've
a lot of beer styles.
They've done a lot of good things for beer.
They have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think you're right on there. This is what I would refer to, and I stole this directly from Steve Seitner, a lawn mowing beer.
Yeah.
Right. This is get done mowing your lawn, and this is what you want.
I might even sneak it in while I'm mowing.
Oh, well, yeah.
True. Like you empty the bag if you're a bagger, like I am. Empty the bag of grass, and then, just a little sip.
I didn't want it to sound like I was a complete lush.
Right.
That I was drinking while I was mowing, but yes.
I mean, I don't have a beer holder welded onto the side of my mower yet.
Some do.
Some do.
Some do.
The riders. I just have a push mower.
Right. Dolan does. I think Dolan does, actually.
I could see him driving that to work one day.
Absolutely. Somebody's got to mow the lawn out front.
No doubt, it's
right?
kind of tall.
And we've got plenty of beer in the secret beer fridge in the back. So I don't know. That just seems it seems like what he would do. So anyway, Hoppin Frog Brewery is located in Akron, Ohio. Opened in 2006. A guy by the name of Fred Karm owns it. Has owned it. I believe they're still independent. He graduated from the University of Akron and then opened his brewery there in 06 because he wanted to do it his way, and that's it's grown since then. They have they're distributed in 22 states now, Nebraska not being one of them, unfortunately, because I would buy a lot of this, especially in the summer. And I know this doesn't really fit with where we've been in the seasonals, but when he gave this to us, I wasn't going to turn it down.
Yeah,
right?
you can't.
And,
No way. And it's one of those beers, kind of like that started this whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's a gateway beer. Mm-hmm. If somebody says, I don't drink beer, you could hand them one of these, and I guarantee you they could get through it for
Absolutely.
Because there's no hop, like flavor or aroma. It's straight juice, basically, is what it smells like and tastes like.
7.3 IBUs. So
that's super low.
Not bitter whatsoever. Like, I would say Coors Light is more bitter than this.
Yeah. I think they probably just held a couple hops next to this, and that's where the 7.3 came from, because it's not detectable in any way.
There's just like hop vapor in here,
and
that's about it. So, yeah. So their tap house, this was interesting. So Tap House has 24 taps plus some limited rare beers that Tap House only. The brewery is open Monday through Sunday, so it's open all 7 days a week. But after 4 o'clock, the tasting room is 21 and over.
Okay.
Which I thought was kind of interesting. With most of these breweries being very family friendly, it's family friendly only to a certain time, and then 21 and over gets crazy, I guess. I don't know. I guess I don't know what else is there to do in Akron. I don't know. Sorry, Akron friends.
Yeah.
I really don't know. But yeah, it was interesting that after that time it was 21 and over. So they do not offer any kind of to-go crowlers, growlers, anything like that. It's all, if they bottle it, then you can take it. The limited beers, you got to drink there.
I wonder if that's a brewery-specific thing or if that's a law. Because some places are that way. So, like in Minneapolis, for example, Surly, you can't. You have to go. You can't buy any packaged beer there. You can only drink beer at their place. Oh. So if you want to buy it, they're happy to tell you the closest places to where you're at currently to go pick it up. But you can't walk out of there with a growler or a bomber or anything like that.
Really?
Because it's a state law or at least a city ordinance in Minneapolis. So maybe it's something similar like that. I don't know.
So this has nothing to do with anything, but I know there have been multiple places. Nebraska is one of them. I know Colorado is the same way, that you can buy bottled package at the brewery, but you can't open it and drink it in the brewery. Is that a law? I mean, is that...
It might be, or it might just be something to do with the type of liquor license they have, or it might just be they want to be able to be on top of who's had what. It's be like, they can keep an eye on you as serving, they know you've had 2 beers or whatever, but not if you bought a 6-pack and snuck 6 of them out of them, drank them all.
Hammering them in the bathroom,
right?
In between,
or just at the table. It's a busy day; they can't keep track of everybody. So it could be just trying to protect them and you. One of those situations.
That makes a lot of sense.
So let's talk. I don't know if you have this on your notes or not, but I want to talk about the logo.
Yeah,
because it's a pretty well-known one as far as craft beer goes. You can see that and you'll know that that's their beer. It's the same pretty much on every bottle. It's just some variations sometimes. I've seen him on a unicycle one time. That one looks like he's standing on a lemon piece or a sunshine?
Like standing on a piece of lemon, yeah.
Cool.
It looks like the sun, I guess, yeah.
So he's prominent on the bottle. And then underneath the mug of beer, it says Ohio, which is kind of cool. I couldn't think of another brewery that has the state that they're from so prominently right on the label. So comes from Ohio, I guess
Yep.
I've had the stouts from this brewery. I've gotten them in South Dakota and Minneapolis area. So I've had a lot of those, but I'm enjoying this one. And tomorrow, from what I can understand as far as our weather goes here, it's going to be in the 80s. So I feel like we're one day ahead of of schedule for this.
Still, technically, we could drink it and be acceptable. Yeah, it's
I know
not quite stout season yet.
I mean, we're drinking this at work and it's acceptable, so I feel like it's okay.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Dolan does it all the time, but that's
how we got here on the lawnmower.
exactly right. Yeah, no, I think you're right. As I was going down their website, you see all of their packaging, and that frog is very prominently placed. What I couldn't find though is why. What's the
what's Hoppin' Frog?
What's the symbolism there? Why did you just like frogs?
Well, next time Thomas is there, he needs to get the 411 for us.
I think he needs to find out.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Thomas, that's your assignment, brother.
And then maybe send us one of those stouts too.
Yeah, good call. So two-part assignment. One,
right.
Find out about the frog. Two, send us some stouts.
Yes.
I don't have any problem asking.
That's
for
only
that at
two
all.
things.
It's not that big of a deal.
No.
I think he would. Honestly, I think he would gladly do that. Last time he came through, if you remember the pictures that we took, he brought us a ton. Like he brought a cooler.
Oh.
In his truck with him of just Ohio beers.
I need to meet this guy.
He's
full of beers.
He's a good dude, and he likes beer as much as we do. So
are there any other craft breweries that you're aware of that make a shandy? Because I was racking my brain yesterday trying to think of any. Because there's obviously the Leinenkugels we talked about, and that's
right.
Miller owned. And then there is, who else makes one? Budweiser has a company that makes one.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what it's called. It's just like Lemon Shandy is the name of it. I'm trying to think of
who does
brand.
You see this during the summer. Who does the grapefruit Radler? That one you see around here all the time.
In a can?
Yes.
That's a company called Stiegel, and they're from over in like Germany.
Oh.
They're one of the originators of that style. So there's a grapefruit one and there's a lemon one.
Okay.
And those are really good.
Thank you. Probably Germany again.
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
There's maybe 3 German breweries that make them and send them here that I know of that we can get in Nebraska.
Okay.
There's a shandy company in Cincinnati called the Traveler.
Yes.
And that's all they make. They don't make any other beers. They just make variations on shandies.
Is that the one, the packaging has like the mustache and stuff? Yep.
They're from Cincinnati, and they have a lemon one that's pretty good. And they do some seasonal ones, which is kind of interesting. They have a pumpkin one I've had before, and blueberry, and just like watermelon, which is kind of sweet, and that sort of thing. But that's just that's their thing. They don't make any other beer, just that shandy. So I was trying to think of another one. Like I don't know of any in Lincoln and Omaha that make one.
No. No.
It's weird because it's a popular style, right? Like it's across the board, especially when you throw in that Leinenkugel summer shandy. Like you can get that at a bowling alley or golf course, wherever you're at, you can find that one. So it's like a popular thing, but nobody really seems to make it in a small version.
You'd think that someplace like that could dominate a market if they did a good one.
Yeah.
Actually, even if they did an average one, if you're the only one out there.
Yeah. Well, and this one is the only one I know of that's this ABV. So this is their version of it, and they kind of stepped it up a little bit.
Yep.
And I'd drink this in the summertime.
Absolutely.
Out on like a patio or a deck.
Yep.
Ooh, great.
Without a doubt. So then, speaking of patios and decks, they back to the brewery. They have events every day. Weekdays from 3 to 7. They call it Hoppy Hour, which is obviously a play on frog. Yeah. So $1 off pints. And it appeared from the picture that their tap room is very large with a very large patio outside. Monday is industry night, which I thought was kind of interesting. So if you work at a bar, restaurant, or a different brewery, all pints are $5.
Oh, that's cool.
Kind of a fun way to connect. Wednesday is Pint Wednesday and Meet the Brewer. So I guess the brewers are there on Wednesday, and they get some kind of special. Throwback Thursday, 20% off from 3 to 9. And then Hoppin' Saturday, which is like a big deal during the summer for them. Live music, and I guess there's a bike trail that's real close to there that you get a lot of cyclists that through there. They do all their new releases on Saturday, too, in conjunction with that.
That sounds fun.
So, so if you're anywhere near Akron, Ohio, I would definitely stop by Hoppin' Frog Brewery.
Yeah, ride your bike.
Yep.
Have a Radler or a Shandy.
Yeah, exactly. Not too many of these, though. It's 7%.
Yeah, not a 7. Yeah, maybe just one.
Maybe just one of them, yeah. Or try one of their others. I guess from what Brian said, the stouts are...
Those are going to be stronger. I hate to...
Well, you're probably right.
Yeah, I know from experience. I got a couple at home we might be able to get into later on during this series run of stouts and things.
I'm concerned because I really don't like stouts that much, but we're gonna drink them. I'm gonna try it.
We're gonna do it.
I'm gonna try it. So, All right, next week we've got another seasonal. It's our first stout.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
It'll be okay.
I trust you.
It's not a bomber, so it's just it was just a swallow or two. We can make it happen.
What's Dolan going to drink then?
I don't know. Maybe I'll bring 2.
Bring 2. There we
Okay.
go. All right. We'll see you next week.